for some football movie. Here we go. Whoa, trademark. Oh, what was that?
And we are underway.
Speaking of trademark.
Ooh. Dang. Copyright flags. Flag on the play.
Let's do it.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Dang. Okay, we're back, everyone. It's UMR episode 58.
Oh, my goodness. I always get it wrong. I just say the wrong number every time.
You were like, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in. Let me be wrong.
Just throwing things at the wall.
I was so close to saying 59. Yes, this is episode 58, the best football movies. And since we're so American, we're talking about American football. Yeah, here it comes.
Not the band.
Of course.
Yeah, we got Frank here in the Cowboys jersey and Cowboys hat.
Yo.
We got Danny here in the Packers jersey and Cheesehead Cowboy hat.
The Packers.
And then I am wearing my Wickadonald shirt, and in honor of Trump being rated, my Keep America Great.
Oh, it's a spite thing.
Sorry,
I'm so excited.
Keep Canada. Wait, what does it say?
Canada's already great.
Canada is already great. Love it.
Great saying.
Love it. Anyways, welcome to the show. And before we kick it off to the main helping, the big chunk, it's time for a surprise mini segment that I haven't even told these guys about.
Whoa,
I'm so excited.
Dude. Yeah. You had me prep audio and I didn't even know what for.
You were like, sure, I'll throw a Thunderbolt on the soundboard.
I assumed it was for the upcoming Ezra Miller update. Like we were going to do like a flash lightning bolt thing. I was totally wrong.
Newsflash. We'll get to that. No. So a little while ago, I was talking about running through all the Stephen King books.
Yes.
I've finished the first one. I've worked my way into Salem's Lot a little bit. I'm like maybe 20% of the way
Which one
through.
was the first one?
First one's Carrie.
Okay.
And after reading it, I immediately watched the movie, and I thought this might be a fun, short little segment where I tell you guys about Carrie the book, Carrie the movie.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the original Carrie?
Yes. When I was young, though.
Yeah. So the original is incredible. I haven't rewatched that one yet. I chose to watch the worst one first. There's 3 versions of Carrie. I watched the newest one.
I didn't realize there were 3.
I didn't know that either.
There was a made-for-TV one in the middle. I think it's like early 2000s.
Huh.
I've never seen that one either.
Yikes.
But I watched the one with Hit Girl. What's her name?
Oh, Moretz.
So you have Chloe Grace Moretz as Carrie and Julianne Moore as the mom, Mrs. White, and they're just not as strong. And the movie's very similar to the original, but it doesn't punch. It just
I honestly
doesn't punch.
can't think of a movie that I like Julianne Moore in.
And follow-up
good
question, are they less strong or more strong than the mother-daughter combo in the Tremors sequel when they're like stuck on the roof? Because that's
a good one.
The mother-daughter combo.
I think they're a little bit better. Julianne Moore has some moments, but it doesn't feel like she goes full crazy.
Okay.
Nice.
You also have Baby Driver as the
Ansel Elgort?
Yeah, as the love interest, if you're familiar with the Carrie story. He's pretty fun in the movie. But anyway, I don't want to make this segment too long. I just wanted to say, the book is fantastic. Obviously, there's some weird Stephen King stuff where like Carrie transmit telepathically her presence to everyone once she starts going crazy. There's a bunch of weird Stephen King stuff that they obviously cut out of the movie.
This is before cocaine, though, right?
Yeah, well, allegedly.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is, I think, from the Carrie movies, there's the famous line, they're all going to laugh at you. Yeah. They're all going to laugh at you. That's not in the book.
Really?
So it's interesting that probably the most famous line from the movie was kind of added into what is actually a very faithful movie adaptation.
Wow.
So if you watch the movie, either of them Carrie
The
movies.
1976 one?
Yeah, I think it's 76 or 2013. I can't speak for the live action. I'll have to watch it. Or the sequel they made, Rage, Carrie 2. Anyway, so Carrie, I'm going to give book and movie 2 thumbs up.
Wow.
So
I just thought about how we can delineate what era of Stephen King this is in, because this is now PC, which is allegedly pre-cocaine, and then we've got DC, which is during cocaine, and then we got AC, which is after cocaine.
Interesting.
I think you just created it, man.
3 ages.
So there's our first segment.
The Snow Age.
Our first mini segment of the Snow Age. The Ice Age.
The Ice Age.
There's our first segment of Stephen King from book to film.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I love it.
Before he learned how to ski.
So let's hop into the real reason why we're here today. The reason for the season. It's football season, and we decided let's take. It's time for our quest.
It's time to hug him. and chuck them.
Football. This is our quest to find out what our favorite movie of all time is, at least up until this point. Obviously, there are movies that we haven't seen. Obviously, there are movies that haven't come out yet, or movies that have come out that we just haven't seen.
Which is so much easier to remember when you're not the person saying it into a microphone.
Of course.
Done.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well done.
Yeah, I try to do as fast as possible. So we've picked our two favorite football movies.
Yes.
And I want to go with Danny.
Oh, wow.
What's your runner-up?
A guilty
Honestly,
call.
before we get into it, I would like to thank everyone for watching Uninformed Movie Reviews, especially on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe if you are right now. It helps us get our audience to grow. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please help us out by following. New episodes should show up every Sunday for UMR, or every other Sunday. Anyways, thanks for the 5 stars. We love it. Keep doing it. Join us on @Uninformed Movie Reviews on Instagram, where this gentleman posts hot content.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm a little slacking. I need to step it up before I go on hiatus here.
I'll join you.
Before I hit
need
the
to.
off season.
You've been doing all that nesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get into this, I want to say also before the plug, after the plug now.
Whoa. AP for those of you following along.
I'm honestly really excited to see the movies that David brings into this, because I know that Frank and I are avid football watchers and stuff, and
Yeah.
David's not really into football, but I know that David hasn't seen a bunch of football movies.
I've seen a lot of them, and they
yeah.
suck. You know, that's the biggest thing. I'm excited for this because I'm going to trash talk your guys' picks, and at the same time, obviously, I've come with the best football movie of all time.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think that arguably there is a best football movie. They all suck at some point. There are parts that suck.
I mean, there's a best one.
Yeah, okay.
You guys, y'all about to find out in about 45 minutes.
We'll see. I am going to start up with one. It was really hard to make this list, but my runner-up is 1999's Any Given Sunday, directed by Oliver Stone, with screenplay by John Logan, Oliver Stone, based on defensive end Pat Toomey's Any Given Sunday novel. Loosely. Extremely loosely.
Always loosely. Anytime it's
Interesting.
based on true events or anything, it's always loosely, you know?
Have you read this book or what?
No, hell no.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is this the second book?
Look
to
at that
film
cheese hat. This guy doesn't read books.
comparison? Yeah, that's true.
Got him.
I just know how to play football.
You know, this is one that I think has an air of supposed to being like a serious football movie. And I meant to watch it, and I didn't. I mean, Oliver Stone obviously is a acclaimed director, but I don't know. Well, tell me about this. What is this movie?
As a basic synopsis, Tony D'Amato is played by Al Pacino. He is a head coach for a fictional. Did you hear that weird
Yeah, it
sound?
was a weird
that was like a weird.
sound.
Was that you or me?
It was a weird inward burp from my throat
okay.
coming
And it's
out.
funny because I was going to cut it out in the audio, but now that we brought it up, I have to.
Oh, it
leave
has
there.
to stay in.
I might even lift
Sample
it a little bit.
dude. Yeah,
Actually, here it is again.
Lovely.
Yeah.
love it. All right, so Al Pacino plays Tony D'Amato, who is head coach of the fictional Miami Sharks for the fictional AFFA, because the NFL loves getting its money, and it will never license out unless you pay a bunch of money for your movie.
Interesting.
Yep.
Anyways, he's a head coach who's kind of dealing with being in it past his prime. He's won 2 Super Bowls for whatever they say, the championship game or
They
whatever.
call it like some kind of cup.
Yeah,
like,
the Pantheon
yeah,
Cup, I
yeah,
think is
yeah.
what it's called. It's cool because it shows football from all sides, unlike most movies. And what I mean by that is it shows a perspective from the owners, like the Fat Cat owners, and how football, I mean, it in essence really doesn't mean crap to them, especially in like a second generation when a football team is handed off in a family.
Okay.
It's just the bank.
It's a bank. It's an investment. It's really not about winning or losing. Well, I guess it's more about winning. They want to win at any cost, just because of when you get to playoffs, you make a ton of money from TV and stuff like that. And, anyways, it shows the business side of it, but it also shows how cold and callous that is. And it shows a head coach like dealing with his job on the line, essentially, and like coming to be as a has-been. And it shows the comeuppance. Well, not comeuppance. What's the word? Like the rising star fame. Up and coming Jamie Foxx, who plays a third string quarterback, who's suddenly like thrusted into like having to take this team to the playoffs because their veteran quarterback is broken and their backup quarterback gets broken in the same game.
I thought you were gonna say a third string quarterback who decides to start taking a knee during the national anthem.
Oh,
Gets a bunch of coverage.
Gets a
sweet Nike deal.
Gets conservative canceled. No, they took all his deals away.
Everything away
I
from
thought
him,
he
bro.
was. I thought he was on Nike.
No,
after
they took everything.
He
away
doesn't
from
play in the
Colin
league
Kaepernick.
anymore.
but he doesn't have a Nike deal currently.
He has no deals.
I don't believe so. I could be
Okay, I'm
wrong
gonna
about
Google
that.
this. Although I do want to just state for the record because it sounds like I came across as anti Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, we're very pro
Colin
yeah.
Kaepernick,
Oh, yeah.
and even more so, I would just kneel through the whole game. That's what I would do.
But you know
Dude,
what's
you're gonna hurt
funny?
your
I mean,
knees.
if we're going to talk about the controversy of that, just a tiny bit, isn't it a little bit?
We have to.
I mean, isn't it a little bit hypocritical that you completely conservative cancel Colin Kaepernick, and then in the year 2020 you have Black Lives Matter on the field and on everyone's helmet?
Well, it's-
and,
it's-
Because now there's money in it for them.
right,
Yeah.
because it's profitable now.
Yeah, which is another thing too. Like you can be pro Black Lives Matter, but also just obviously recognizing that corporations are just evil and
Also-
greedy,
but-
and looking to capitalize on anything.
No team has the balls to let Colin Kaepernick come in and lead them to a championship. They will not let him in because of the flack, because they know their stupid redneck conservative fans will like make a huss and fuss, right?
That's right. We're talking to you,
Dallas Cowboy
conservative
fans.
redneck. Whoa.
No, but I mean, it's arguable that Colin Kaepernick is one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, his seasons were insane when he was playing.
Yeah. Duke can throw, Duke could run.
Duke can run. But if like a team like Seattle, what needs a quarterback right now, took him, the city would be proud. I don't even think the fans would make a huge fuss about it.
No, probably not.
You know? So that's our take on Colin Kaepernick. The NFL can shove it up its own butt.
Oh, and he does still have a deal with Nike.
Nice.
Oh,
good,
okay.
Good for you, Colin.
Yeah,
I thought he got stripped of all deals, man.
No. I think Nike was like, "We got you."
Well, on that pause, I'm just going to hit the numbers
Yeah.
really quick
Oh,
before
perfect
we
time,
get
perfect
into
time.
Any Given Sunday a little bit more. Any
Is that
Given
what we're talking
Sunday,
about?
with its 2 hour and 42 minute runtime,
almost
I
3
always
hours.
forget it's a long one until I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a long boy.
Also, it's an Oliver Stone film that does that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Currently has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Made on an estimated budget of $55 million. Had
That's
an
pretty
opening
tight.
weekend of $13,584,625, and will go on to worldwide gross $100,230,832.
Thank you for that precise recitation of the numbers.
No problem.
Made its nut, but not quite double back. Like I said,
But at least a quarterback.
I completely I completely agree. I almost completely agree with both ratings from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes on this. This is not by any means the best film, but it's good. It's good because it's.
Would you say it's runner up?
It is a runner up.
It's solid runner-up.
It's solid runner up. As soon as I watched it again, I was like, "This is hella runner up."
So, I mean, I wonder what the highest scored IMDb football movie is.
I think like 84%.
I can't
Really?
even.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be that high.
No, it is.
My two picks
Oh,
are like real close.
Yeah.
Weird.
Let me talk about why this movie is good and why it's flawed. First off, did anyone else pick this? No one, right?
I didn't pick this.
Okay.
I do enjoy this movie.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you've seen it.
I've seen it plenty of times.
I can describe this movie as being a straight up snapshot of almost 1999 beginning 2000s football. Like this is like extremism like beyond extreme. It's dumb, it's big, it's like jock rock, it's essentially NFL Blitz the movie.
Yeah, almost.
There's so much stuff that happens in the plays and that happens on the field that you're just like, what?
A lot of it feels like a late 90s, early 2000s music video, especially the part that is a music video.
Yeah, especially when they're all like rocking out in Miami, like
Yeah,
LL
yeah.
Cool J and all that stuff. I mean, it's got a great cast. Let me just list off the cast really quick. Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx, Dennis Quaid, James Woods. Let that one go. LL Cool J, Aaron Eckhart,
oh, okay.
Matthew Modine, a la Stranger Things as Papa, John C. McGinley of Scrubs and Full Metal Jacket, and Charlton Heston.
Wait, Matthew Modine is Papa?
Yeah.
So he's also in Full Metal Jacket. So these guys are both in Full Metal Jacket.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
even
Joker.
realize that.
That's cool.
Huh.
there's some stinkers in there, man. I mean, Cameron Diaz is pretty horrible.
Dude, she's real bad in this movie.
Dennis Quaid is
I don't know.
a bad actor.
Yeah, he's not. Dennis Quaid isn't great,
say that.
but he's really good at playing like
Milquetoast.
washed up athlete or like sad dad.
Dennis Quaid is who you go with when you don't have like lead actor money. You know what I mean?
No, dude,
Like Day After
I'll bet that
Tomorrow,
guy-
if they had Tom Cruise money, like Dennis
they
Quaid would not be in that movie, but they didn't.
He's
Fair.
in Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, he's the
Dennis
dad.
Quaid. He's the
I
dad.
don't even remember that.
He sucks.
He's so milquetoast. I just like completely forgot
I mean,
about
that movie's
it.
pretty stupid too, so that's a big part.
Oh
of it.
man, yeah, but he essentially plays like a Matt Ryan or something like that. You know, he's like a veteran quarterback past his prime. He has won. Well, like Matt Ryan has never won a Super Bowl, but he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's carrying the team essentially. He is the star player, but he's just done because of an injury now. It's unique. Like it shows every point of view of football, but it has not aged well. There's a lot of N words in this movie.
Wow.
He's
amount.
not saying that as like a person. He's saying like
Oh
in
wow.
the script.
Oh God.
I'm saying
Yeah.
dialogue
Just to be clear.
and I'm also saying that there's a straight up
You're saying it's like a Tarantino movie.
yeah, but it's
Less blood.
It's African American people saying it to African American people. Really, it's not hard R's. But
It's getting worse.
well,
the
dude, listen,
over-explanation.
just listen. Okay, there is a DMX song that's prominent in one of the montages that they have. That is straight up. The chorus is and we're and this is like it's like extreme. It's crazy.
Hip hop.
I don't know which one you're talking about. Can you sing it for us?
Yeah.
Nah. Anyways, it was just a little weird. I mean, obviously, some of the stuff they say, there's a lot of homophobic stuff. It's a football film.
Holy smokes!
And I think my biggest gripe, obviously, Cameron Diaz is terrible, but this movie commits so many instances of the cinema sin of saying the damn movie title in the movie. There's like maybe 5 to 7 in the movie itself, and then the ending soundtrack.
It's like a
Is
song
Any
called
Given
Any
Sunday.
Given Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, you would be going, hey, through that whole thing. You
Yeah.
would get tired of doing it.
It's really bad.
See, I only do it once.
But the movie, there's some saving grace to it. I mean, it's the intense moments, to be honest. There is some really good dramatic moments with Al Pacino being like super washed up.
I'm glad that you're putting it into words because I don't know if I could explain to you why I enjoy this movie when I watch it.
Yeah.
The action scenes are pretty meh,
Yeah.
except for when that dude's eyeball pops out.
Oh, that
That's
does happen.
pretty
But there's
exciting.
some good tackling scenes.
That's
There's a
pretty
lot
cool.
of
What are you
yeah,
guys
dude.
even talking about?
Yeah, some guy gets hit and then his eyeball pops out on the field.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And
He's just like,
you get to see
and it's just there on the ground.
a stunt that's supposed to be Dennis Quaid just like twirl in the air as he gets hit. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good hit. But like, I don't know if I've ever seen a performance of Cameron Diaz where I was like, wow, she was great in that role. But this one's like specifically really bad because
Yeah.
she has such a big, she has inherited the team from her father who like actually was in it for the love of the sport. And then she also has that. And that's the person she's trying to portray to like the owners and the investors and all her like serious conversations with Al Pacino. They all just play so
Yeah.
terribly. And then you have Al Pacino just killing
Al
it,
Pacino
doing his
kills
thing.
it. With everyone that he's on screen with, especially with Jamie Foxx, they do have a really good chemistry together. And Jamie Foxx really does a good portrayal of like being like a deer in the headlights, where he's like a third string quarterback, and then evolving into like being a complete asshole as he like turns like star player, and then like learning his lesson of being a complete asshole as the team just like completely lets him get like laid out in a couple games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, you have the classic cocky teammate who learns his lesson.
I have it in my notes as like an essential part of a football movie is
Trope.
the comeuppance of hubris.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's two different ways. There's either the star player who's a star player from the beginning who gets his comeuppance,
Yeah.
or in this instance, there's one who becomes star player, gets his comeuppance, and then gets accepted by the team. Doesn't just get kicked out.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, the one who gets his comeuppance is always,
They're usually
accepted
just
by the
out
team.
though.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's either he got a career-ending injury, he's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the drama is good. I mean, Al Pacino just plays an amazing like guy at the end of his rope, and Aaron Eckhart is a cool offensive coordinator. His moments like really shine too. It's just
I like that part where he's talking to Cameron Diaz and she's like, "Come on, Tony, like we gotta win the bowl," and he's like, "F you can."
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that actually one thing, I don't know how recently you've seen this movie.
I probably have seen this movie within the last 2-3 years, maybe.
Okay. Well,
Oh God.
I've seen this movie probably like twice this year because I did this watch like earlier and then I redid it recently. But this movie actually touches on something that's very recent in terms of like NFL problems, and it's like touching on like how there's not any black owners of the NFL. There's not many black head coaches.
Yeah.
And if anything, a lot of them are just pawns in the game of like the billionaires.
Or Mike Tomlin with his super angry face.
So
Yeah.
It's just like society.
But then there's the whole Brian Flores thing that came up this year, which was the Dolphins head coach who was saying that he was not getting hired because he was black, as when he was going to a different team. And he was bringing out that there's hardly any like prominent African-American males in the entire league, except for the players.
That's interesting.
Except for the players. And then it comes back to the Colin Kaepernick thing in this movie where it's just like, you just shut up and throw a ball. Like, your opinions don't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not a human.
Keep in our,
So a bit ahead of its time somehow.
A little bit. Just a little
touch.
bit. It's both
Or it's
back
like
in the past.
Football's just been, tragically broken for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it really like tries to say who is in it for the love of the sport and who's in it for the business, really.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting take to go on.
Fun facts, if I may, about this. Sean P. Diddy Combs was originally casted to play Jamie Foxx's role as the up and coming.
Wow. Okay.
But
that would have been really bad.
really
Okay,
weird.
okay.
Rumors circulated that he couldn't get the role because he couldn't throw the football in a convincing manner.
That's so funny.
That
Thank
makes
you
sense.
so much for telling me that.
That makes sense.
Then the role was going to go to Cuba Gooding Jr., but he was not picked because he recently played a football player in Jerry Maguire.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
at the
radio. But that would have been afterwards.
He did not play football in radio.
No.
Don't they put him in for the last play and then they like lift him up and they're like, radio, radio.
Yeah,
radio.
maybe actually.
Yes.
Maybe
That's how
I'm
it goes.
misremembering it.
Same movie. Then it went to Chris Tucker, and for some reason, I guess he was working on Rush Hour 2 or something at the time.
Or 3 or 4 or 5.
It was 1999.
maybe
so-
6.
They wanted to hire Chris Tucker, but he demanded that they also had a role for Jackie Chan, and they refused.
Oh, it was during that time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. That's how it went.
I just think it's funny that Jamie Foxx was like fourth in line for this movie.
He's
well,
the best.
he's the third string quarterback.
I guess
you know?
He's
so.
also the best actor.
He did
Yeah,
good.
out
He
of the
did really
bunch.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, George
Well, I mean, Jackie Chan is fantastic. But anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
George, so funny.
Yeah.
George Clooney was offered the role to play Cap Rooney too, which I think would have been okay. And that sounds right why he was first considered instead of Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid
But
sucks.
then
This
they
is
didn't have the room in the budget.
They didn't have George Clooney money. This is
No,
exactly
they
what I'm
didn't.
talking about.
But
David's making some excellent points
Yeah.
over here.
here's a funny thing. Jim Caviezel apparently played Al Pacino's estranged son in some scenes in the movie that were completely cut out of the final movie that are in the DVD extended scenes. And I'm just like, wow.
They just cut the whole roll out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He did all that. Yeah, that's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I hate Jim
Wow.
Caviezel.
Amen.
Oh, that's actually Thunderbolt time. Because he did get struck by lightning.
Nice.
I didn't know that before I hit the button.
Yeah.
So
when he was filming Passion of the Christ, he got struck by
Oh,
lightning. It's part of that
yeah.
curse of
Curse of playing Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So those are my fun facts about any given Sunday, which I choose as my runner-up. Not great, but good in its own way.
You know, I think it's so interesting that we're doing a movie quest where it feels like even for runner-up, you're kind of like scraping a little bit. You're like, this movie's okay.
I didn't
You
want to
know
go with a Sapfest movie.
And you know,
There's a lot of them.
I was trying to guess like your picks. David, I have like a feeling where he might land on at least one of them. This is not what I had imagined for your runner-up at all. It was a
Interesting.
nice surprise.
Well,
I
Oh,
was
I'm
trying to
sorry.
break the mold. This movie breaks the mold a little bit. It's not like typical follow kid from high school into college and then
that sounds like it could be a John Madden thing. This player really breaks the mold. Speaking of breaking the mold, Frank, what's your runner-up?
For my runner-up, we're gonna go very much in the mold. One of David's personal favorites, the movie that fixed racism in America.
Oh, God.
2000s. Remember the Titans.
I was wondering if anyone was going to pick this. But
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna do it.
When you make a movie. That's emotional porno. You want to look at Remember the Titans as a template.
To be fair, David, a lot of football movies are emotional porno.
They all are.
Like 97% of them.
This is why I hate them. You know what I mean? But I'll put an addendum at the end of yours. I don't want to take your
get
spotlight.
there. If you need one in the middle, I'm totally open to that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here we go. I'm going to go numbers up top because that's how I have my notes organized. Remember the Titans with its 113-minute runtime has a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb, higher than Danny's pick, and a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. Made on a
Higher than my
budget
pick.
of $30 million, had an opening weekend of $20,905,831, almost made the nut back, and with worldwide gross on $136,771,683.
Probably because
baby.
it's that Disney money.
That's gross.
I threw them another $3.99 today on Amazon. Let's go.
Dang, they're still making.
Did you update the numbers?
No. Well, I took my notes after I had started the watch. So
Well, you also don't know how much goes to them. You know what I mean? You could just add $3.99.
You
I
also
don't know what the split
gotta
is for
consider
Amazon Prime.
that every school probably has like 10 copies of this movie in the entire school.
Fair.
I dare
This
you
is a school
to look
movie.
throughout your school and see who has a copy of Remember the Titans for their.
No one has movies in schools anymore.
Really?
Well, because everything's streaming.
That makes sense.
Also,
They don't roll in the Betamax card
guys,
anymore.
movie days don't exist anymore.
Get out of here.
Kids are not interested. They'd rather be on their phone.
Well, what do they do with substitutes?
They're just on their phone.
How do they know how Edward James Olmos is going to reach these kids?
They don't.
I'm so upset right now.
If you put a movie on, they would all be on their phones with like their AirPods in like 15 seconds.
Wow. It's a different generation.
Yeah.
But this just sparked an interest in me in making a new movie quest. Movies that were rolled in on carts. For
You know, we've talked about this
I
one,
think
but
so.
we need to write this down. We need to add it to the notes.
I'm going to
Somebody
put it
needs
in
to
the
put it
notes.
in.
Because I need to talk about October Sky. But anyways, what were we
August Osage County. I'm sorry.
Love October Sky. Back to Remember the Titans, set in Richmond, Virginia in 1971, based on the story of Coach Herman Booth and his task of coaching the football team of a newly integrated high school, T.C. Williams High, which in the screenplay is created by two segregated schools closing and merging into one integrated school at the command of the federal government of the United States of America. But in all actuality was a merger of three already integrated schools, but still rough. What do you know?
Oh, this is a true story?
Yeah, this is based on a true story.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Herman Booth is like a real, actual person. Gary Bertier did get hit by that car, did do the Special Olympics, did die shortly after.
Did he join a biker gang?
Eventually, but it doesn't end well. We'll get to
Doesn't
that.
end well for him either.
Yeah, it doesn't end well for him either.
Spoiler alert, Danny.
So Herman Booth has the challenge of getting these boys on the team to put their differences aside, along with building a working relationship with the already successful white coach that he's replacing, and then leads them to an undefeated season. Also in real life, the Titans did actually go 13-0 that season.
Dang.
But unlike the movie that showed a bunch of close games, they just wrecked that entire
Wow.
season. 9 of the 13 games were complete shutouts.
Not very interesting when you're just destroying, right?
Yeah,
No, yeah,
that's not fun.
Less fun to watch for sure. This movie is an absolute hallmark card of a movie.
Oh my
It
God,
is
yeah.
nauseatingly optimistic and like so inspiring. The soundtrack to this movie, it feels like a parody on how to do an inspiring score.
Yeah,
It's so gross, but they balance it out really nice with a lot of really dope licensed music from the era. There's some banging ass tracks in this movie, boy, let me tell you what. The cast is filled with super recognizable talent. Denzel Washington, of course, playing Coach Booth. Will Patton playing Coach Bill Yost. We got Ryan
Oh,
Hurst,
nice. I
the
love Will
aforementioned Bertier. Also, Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. I
Really
forgot.
sad to watch you get your head bashed in. That was a big moment for all of
Ooh,
us,
oh,
especially
spoiler alert.
when Danny ruined that for
Yeah, for me.
For
the
David
episode
over here?
before I watched it.
yeah, just before.
Yeah.
We got Donald Turkleton Faison. We've got Ethan Suplee.
Did you say Paisan?
No, Faison. Faison.
Hey, Paisan.
Faison.
Hey, Faisan, Donald, get over here.
We got Kate Bosworth playing Bertier's girlfriend, a sweet little baby looking Ryan Gosling, and then an
Oh, wow. I
actual
forgot he's in
baby looking Hayden Panettiere. She's
Oh, yeah.
so young in this movie. She plays Coach Yost's daughter. For me, who's not super down for the optimistic and inspiring stuff, but has seen so many sports movies in my lifetime that knows that it's just part of the territory.
Yeah.
For me, the real strength in this movie are its comedic moments. There's a ton of like really funny moments in here. It's all moments and quotes for me, this movie. Because the person who adapted this true life events to a screenplay apparently thinks that a montage is one of the only ways that you can tell a story. Because there's like, I wish I would have counted them. There's got to be at least 6 montages in this movie.
Well, I mean, the whole movie's montage.
It really is.
Yada,
it's
yada,
montages
yada,
with
yada.
a few scenes, and then we hit a 70s like funk track, and then we do a
Ain't
montage,
no mountain
and we get a bunch of
high.
nice little jokes and moments. The ones that stuck out to me the most are the very first one where the white already established captain is trying to assert himself with Denzel Washington, and he walks up to him. He's like, "Hey, listen, we don't need any guys on offense. Maybe we could use a guy or two on defense. This is how we run the team." And then he ends up walking away from that situation, having to call Denzel Washington his daddy. It's not how he thought it was going to go at all. It's one of my favorite moments, and start off at the top with it. Also really like when they get the new quarterback in, Sunshine from California, and he's got his long, beautiful hair.
Yeah.
So immediately Gary Bertier starts calling him Sunshine and like sweetness and all this stuff, trying to make like little gay digs at him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he catches him in the locker room, and he's like, "What are you doing, bro?" He's like, He's like, "Well, what do you want?" And he just looks him in the eye. He's like, "You know what I want." And then he kisses him on the mouth. That's a really funny moment because the whole team's losing it. One of the guys like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." And they come to break up the fight, and they're like, "What happened?" He's like, "He kissed me, bro." It's a
That's fun.
fantastic
They're like,
moment.
we're barely getting over racism. No way are we going to be accepting homosexuals.
No,
This is the 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
1971.
You said that the person who made this was just hard on for montages, and I was like, who is it? Boaz Yakin.
Boaz Yakin.
I think that's a Star Wars character.
I'm gonna look up what this
I
person has
looked
done.
to see what what other films he had written for, and it's just other movies like this. It's other like inspiring sports movies.
Oh, well, he did do Now You See Me and Now You See Me Too, so that's disgusting.
Back in the Habit.
Wow. He did do The Rookie, I guess.
The Punisher?
1989.
Rookie,
Oh,
another Dennis Quaid banger.
This guy wrote the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie? That's kind of cool.
Interesting. He did the Prince of Persia movie. Weird.
I feel like this is a nice time for me to cut in and just say, man, I hate this movie. You know,
I know you do. I was so excited to talk about it.
Yeah, it's just a bad movie. It's just like, here's the thing. None of these sports movies ever feel authentic. And I say this as someone who's been a part of a sports team. Now, maybe a bit begrudgingly, maybe not 100% into it, but this is just, I feel like football players, high school football players, don't have a very high emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think so many of these movies are just about how the team is like, well, we need to bond in order to be a team. And it's like, none of that happens. Like, it's really just a lot of like,
I wouldn't say that.
you think there's like moments where they're like, everyone come in, huddle together, and
Dude,
let's
they
like
used to make
hug.
us do
You
that.
know what I mean?
There's
Yeah.
moment that that only
God.
happens on a team when something really bad happens. Like somebody has to
yeah.
get cancer, a coach has to die in a car crash, like something bad has to happen for that to happen with a football team.
But it also feels like in high school, there's like an expectation for moments like that.
Oh, for sure.
Because of the culture of all these stupid movies.
Yeah.
Where it's like
It's a reenactment.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, oh, we need to have our Remember the Titans moment.
It's life
I don't know.
imitating art, maybe.
It just feels so inauthentic where these characters don't feel real. They feel like caricatures. And then it's hilarious the ripples that proceed throughout real life because of it.
So
Maybe
I
I'm
would,
looking too much into it.
Well, like I would agree. I would actually agree with you in the inauthenticity of the social struggle. And the thing about this film is it's more about the social struggle than it is the football. But there's a lot of
Yeah.
the football stuff that feels like being on a football team. Like
Yeah.
you have the players who are just trying to keep their spot. You have like players who are taken out of the game and their dad's losing it, like threatening to fight the coach when like in all actuality, like your kid's getting beat. Like he got taken out because he's not doing his job.
He sucks. Yeah.
There's the little bits of camaraderie of just like there's a whole scene where they're just slapping each other with yo mama jokes, and that feels so real. Yeah, there's all these little moments that feel like being on a football team with a bunch of idiots. Inside all the gushy,
Yeah.
super hallmarky
Tier bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
man. I agree. I wouldn't say it's completely disingenuous, I guess.
yeah, it just, they don't feel like high school students.
Yeah. I will say that there are some movies that get that right, but maybe not this.
Maybe not this one.
No.
Yeah.
But like it or not, if you've seen this movie, you will remember forever all the sing-alongs and the dance routines from Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah, because they do that stupid thing at the end where they're dancing on.
They do the stupid thing at the end. They do the sing-along on the way back home from the bus. They when Gary Bertier dies, when they're doing like the epilogue, and it's the part I hate the most about the movie. But when they're coming back on the bus, they're all singing like na 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 na, you know. And then Gary Bertier dies, and they do it again. They're like sad. Everybody's like goodbye. It's so bad.
I consciously didn't choose this movie.
This money.
This money.
Don't
either.
remember that scene, but that sounds like a high point to end the movie on.
No, honestly, and I got cut off on my list before I got to the comedic moment, but it's so funny to me the car crash when he's just like, "You the man, no you the man, no you the man," and then he gets paralyzed because he wasn't watching where he was going.
Oh, the you the man
I
thing.
always
Oh,
laugh
God.
at that moment.
I think I'm gonna.
You gonna rewatch it?
I might vomit. You know what I mean? Rewatching this movie, I will never. You know what I mean? I don't know what circumstance would need to be.
When I finally kidnap you and torture you.
When his kids are born.
I'd rather close my eyes for an hour and 13 minutes than watch. Right?
Well, if I'm torturing you, I'm gonna have like fish hooks in your eyelids, like taped to the back of your head.
You got to go full Clockwork Orange if you're gonna. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I guess this is where I'll cut in with my runner-up.
That was definitely a choice.
Yes. No. And I think actually this is a highly revered football movie.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty famous. And
I
it's
hate
good.
it, you know, but I don't like football, so
There you go.
I'm also negative about everything. So
True.
Also true.
You are a negative Nancy.
yeah, exactly.
A poo-pooer, if you will.
Yeah, I love poo-pooing.
In all
You
senses.
do it all the time.
In all senses of the
Yeah.
A
word.
poo-poo pena. Okay, so here's my pick. It's 2004's Friday Night Live.
What?
That's actually my number one.
Fire!
I knew it was going to be everyone's number one, and I didn't change it because this
Wow.
is the best
What?
football movie.
Wait, hang on.
This is not his number one.
What?
This is his
This
runner
is my
up.
runner-up.
Okay.
Dog. So,
What?
Yeah.
okay, first off, yeah.
Which I want to
Secondly,
know
though-
what's better
I
than
just
this.
got really
though.
excited.
Secondly, this is really interesting to me. This has never happened where all three of us have picked one of the same movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought for sure it was going to be. I'm so curious to see what you have for number one.
Oh, I mean, number one is something beyond special, but we'll get to that in a
Okay.
little bit.
Interesting.
Okay, so I guess I'll start off Friday Night Lights, and I'll kind of I'll do a
Oh, a lateral.
what do they call it? A layup
Lateral.
to you guys, so that you get a chance to score your own basket.
Wait, have we crossed the line of scrimmage or not? Because it's two different things. Are we lateraling or are we shuffle passing?
Cross the line of scrimmage. I'm not Jewish.
You played football.
I'm just joking. I'm hamming this up. Okay, I'm
Ham
hamming
it
this
up.
up.
Ham
Everybody.
it up, ham boy.
Okay, so
David's being that edgy kid who hates football on Facebook.
is it edgy?
Yes, it
I
is.
feel like it's.
It is. It's a cool thing to do when the Super Bowl's on. Everybody's like, "Ooh, stupid football."
How many people are like this?
Everyone. Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a silent minority situation.
No, it's
they're
not.
very vocal.
Guys,
I'm telling you.
the Super Bowl is like the most viewed television experience ever.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then there's also like all the cool kids who are like, "No, why would I
Yeah,
watch the
it's
Super
all
Bowl?
the-
Watch a bunch of
Exactly.
idiots banging into
Facebook is just
themselves."
filled literally with like, everyone's talking about the Super Bowl.
See, this is interesting because I feel like I've never noticed this before,
Oh, dude, it's a thing.
but also, yeah, I mean, Super Bowl sucks. You know what I mean?
It does not suck, but okay.
Although I will say the halftime show this last year was pretty dope. It's because we're old. But,
Oh, the dopest thing about the halftime show last year is how much it pissed off old people.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I loved
love that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was a good game
Yeah,
last
no,
year.
I mean-
Anyway,
My family pissed.
Yeah.
It was great.
I don't know any of these songs.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because you're not the target audience anymore.
Take it away, David.
So Friday Night Lights, directed by Peter Berg. Everyone knows Peter Berg. I'm
I
just,
don't.
I'm
that-
just joking.
He's that guy from that thing.
Of course, he did that movie Collateral with Tom Cruise when he's like bleach blonde hair. He also did that movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberger.
Yeah, he's got way more like supporting acting roles than he does
Yeah.
director stuff.
Written by Buzz Bissinger. This is based on a book.
Yes.
I've not read the book.
Nope.
And it's a true story
Mm-hmm.
about the Permian high school football team.
Permian Basin, right?
Yeah, Permian Basin. And really, the movie is about East Texas football and East Texas football culture.
I'd say mid Texas.
Well, I mean,
But yeah, East Texas too, I guess. With
Well,
the,
it's the
all
rest
over
of the,
Texas.
it's the rest of the state.
Yeah,
Here's the okay to put this into context because Permian Basin is pretty west.
yeah,
but,
it is.
But we're in El Paso,
And we're the furthest
We-
west.
which is
West
West
Texas,
Texas.
yeah.
And if you don't know where it is, and you've seen the state of Texas, it's that little point off on the left. You know?
Yeah,
The point
it's,
where
this
that
one.
touches Mexico and New
That's
Mexico.
us.
It's as
Yeah.
far west as you can get.
And interestingly enough, like football is taken very seriously here, but culturally, it's nothing like
No.
the rest of the state of Texas.
Well,
really.
when you live in a place like Midland or Odessa where there's nothing, yes.
but I mean, even like Dallas,
Yeah, it
Houston,
is
even
huge.
big cities, they have massive programs
Yeah,
that are taking
Houston
it very
does.
seriously. But Danny is right when you talk about like Midland or Odessa, these tiny little towns where they're just like oil drilling towns. There's like 5 streets and one stop sign. Like the whole city shuts down for these football games.
High school football is that town's identity.
Yeah,
It's life.
It's all they have. So, yeah, this is a really interesting story. I mean, the reason I like Friday Night Lights is obviously because of the Explosions in the Sky soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, the soundtrack is good. But in all seriousness, it's how this movie actually feels very real. I like a good gritty movie, and then I mean, spoiler alerts, but them losing is also
Yeah.
a nice touch.
Yep.
It ends on a sad note.
I forgot to point that out in Any Given Sunday too. They lose the big game.
Oh, nice.
They win one game, but they lose the big game in the end.
Okay, but they learned, so then they're okay.
Yes. But another Danny moment coming up here. Another reason I forgot to say that I like Any Given Sunday is because it ends with a great spite move.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Al Pacino, when he's announcing his retirement from the team,
Yeah.
or is expected to, instead says, I'm going to be the head coach and general manager at this other new team that's coming up, and I'm taking Jamie Foxx with me.
Wow, that's fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forget about that
That's
press
fun.
conference.
It's
at the
great.
end, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, back to it. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, Friday Night Lights follows Coach Gary Gaines, who's played by Billy Bob Thornton. He's kind of like stepping into really big shoes, obviously. And as we've said, a town that's like taking this thing like deathly seriously. And he's got a lot of expectations to live up to.
He has like mob moments with
Dude.
like the mayor. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you better bring it home or else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure, like even in the barbershop, you know what I mean? Like the weight is on his shoulders. His wife, Connie Britton, who I think does a really good job, and also just a nice actress.
It's like the insurmountable pressure as a head coach of this high school football team is like something that you probably would understand at like a college head coach level, definitely NFL level.
I mean,
but
for
like,
some moments, it seems like he's like a
just like,
5-star
Jesus.
general or something.
Yeah,
like people are expecting him to like pull it off no matter what.
yeah,
Yeah.
like failure is not an option.
Exactly. We got a bunch of people who are on the team. Obviously, the players. We have Booby Miles, who's played by Derek Luke. I mean,
I love Booby Miles.
this actor, he's not in a lot of things, but he kills in this movie. He's
Really strong
fantastic.
performance.
Yeah.
You just like, oh my god, this guy is over the top, man.
You got Lucas Black from, of course, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Ding,
Which
ding,
is
ding,
probably
ding,
the
ding.
reason he gets this.
Probably.
That movie is for Friday Night Lights, but he plays the quarterback who is,
Winchell?
yeah, he's like a hair away from cracking in half. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, man.
He's been just like bred, like a lot of these people, like a lot of these kids, their
Yeah.
whole life. But man, like being the quarterback, it's just one of those roles where it comes down on him.
And he's not
ultimately.
even, it's not even that he's good. He's just the quarterback there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he has that pressure from his dad who is just chasing the glory days.
No,
No.
there's no dad in the picture.
You don't know.
He
It's
has
his
a very
mom.
supportive mom.
He's
who,
got a
like, helps
mom
him, like, you're thinking of
Oh, thinking of,
you're thinking of
yeah.
the halfback.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
But the mom
Mistaken.
who clearly smokes like packs of cigarettes a day. You know what I
yeah.
mean? She's got that vibe.
She's probably smoking a pack right now.
Yeah, right. I got that mixed up.
Then we got Garrett Hedlund, who's the guy you're thinking of. Garrett
That's who it
Hedlund's the fullback, I guess, or whatever. He's no, just joking. He's in Four Brothers, which is a movie that I like more than I should.
I love
yeah,
Four Brothers.
he's the one-
He's the baby brother.
He's the one who gets killed. He's also
alert.
in the adaptation of On the Road with Kristen Stewart, which is okay, not as good as the book, but of course. And then he's in that Tron Legacy movie. So he had his moment in the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he kind of faded. But and this is actually one of my favorite performances of the whole movie. His dad is Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And I think this is his second film role, and I'm pretty sure that his first film is like straight to DVD, some weird Western movie. So I'm pretty sure this is Tim McGraw's theatrical
Like breakout?
debut.
Yeah.
He kills
He's
it.
He's
amazing.
so good. Dude, he's a better actor than he's a country singer. You know what I mean?
I
Dude,
believed 100% he was drunk, sad dad trying to relive his glory days.
Dude,
through
and
sex.
it's like if you haven't been on a high school football team, there is one dad like that every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
They don't
And
even have to be drunk.
They might even be the coach.
there's a great. There's a
They
great.
might sing in a church choir with somebody we know.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
There's a great intense kind of abuse scene really when his dad confronts him while he's like making out with his girlfriend on the couch, who's Amber Heard.
That-
And
oh my god, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
That's
I
weird.
didn't even realize it was Amber Heard.
Yeah,
I think my mind blocked her face out.
Yeah.
that's what happened. And then like she's pooping on the couch while he's getting beat up. You know what I mean? Which is really crazy to me that they predicted that. Maybe it was something she really wanted to add into the role, but
He is on fire!
yeah, thank you. So, anyways, yeah,
Good time for that one.
You know,
Yeah,
I do
I
have
was saving it.
I do have one quick fun fact, and then I guess we'll hit the numbers, and I want to see what you guys have to say too. But
I got a thing or two.
they used Explosions in the Sky, a Texas band,
Yeah.
which adds to that Texas flavor. Also, this movie we talked about on our most Texan movies.
Could have used a bit more Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, that's true, and a little more Leatherface. That
Yeah.
really would have sealed the deal.
True.
Fun fact, I've had breakfast with all of Explosions in the Sky.
That's interesting. They
Nice
seem
dudes.
like
Very-
I was gonna say they seem kind of boring. You know what I mean?
Extremely nice dudes.
I bet they're super nerdy.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
down to earth. Like
That's
super
cool.
approachable. We all shared breakfast burritos at Sonic Ranch.
I thought you were just gonna say Sonic. I thought there was gonna be a period after that.
No.
But anyway, Sonic Ranch is a recording studio for those of you who aren't familiar.
It's famous, yeah.
But I digress. Yeah, they were using snippets as placeholder music of existing Exploding in the Sky
Oh.
songs. And they-
Explosions in the sky.
God, this is so many. There's too many words here. Explosions in the Sky. Songs,
Yeah.
Explosions in the Sky's demons' souls. They liked the placeholder music from the band so much that were existing tracks that they wrote new music for the movie.
Yeah, their soundtrack band.
Yeah. So it's killer. Anyways, Frank, what are the numbers for this movie?
7.
Nice. Let's move on.
All right. So, anyways,
To the top. Friday Night Lights, with its 118-minute runtime, currently has a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb and an 82% on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
still think it's kind of low for
Made on a
IMDb.
budget of $30 million, which apparently is the growing rate for a football movie in the early 2000s. Had an opening weekend of $20,296,015 and would go on to worldwide gross $61,950,770.
Surprisingly less than I thought it would. This is a football movie that gets it right. Like, this is like a movie that is so... It's got so much emotional depth. And like we were saying, like that's not the case in like Remember the Titans, where like the high school kids are kind of unbelievably, like tight and stuff. Like this
Yeah.
actually shows struggle.
it's like they're a little too nice and they're a little too self-aware.
yeah.
Whereas in this movie, they seem like kind of dumb high school kids who don't know how to deal with how unbelievable the pressure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just trying to like handle
They're
it.
just
and
in
figure
high
it out.
school. They're like in like public education, and
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
like, there's all this pressure on me to like be an NFL star after this. You know what I mean? Like some people are getting groomed from like there to like go be NFL stars, but some people are just trying to make it through like chemistry and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, like really for these kids, like a whole ton of them, it's like I'm trying to make the most out of right now because like afterwards I'm gonna go like work at the plant with my dad
Or the
like,
oil field
or
the oil
something.
field. Like
Yeah.
And I feel
that's
like-
what is there for me.
They do say something like that in the movie.
Tim McGraw tells his kid like he has that like super awesome scene after he like kicks the windows
I
out of the
love
car
that.
and
Oh,
it's
great.
so cool the way he starts it off. He's like, I don't want this to sound like an apology, but
Yeah.
and he just tells him like, you don't understand, like this is it, this is all you have like this year to make the memories and the rest is shit. Like that's all you
Which
have to
is
look forward
so
to. It's
messed
so
up to say.
sad,
yeah. And he just like throws his championship ring out the window, and then the kid turns around to go get it, and he's just
Yeah.
like, it's just insane, man. Tim McGraw is awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
So
really
good.
good.
Love the bald spot. Plays so well.
Yeah,
Also good.
man. Everything about that's good. One thing I really like about this movie is all the shaky cam
Mm-hmm.
versus high level production value. So like most of the movie is like shot with this handheld cam kind of look to it. and it feels just very like homemade, very like guerrilla. You're just following around actual people, and then boom, but when you get into the actual game, especially when you get to the Alamo Dome, right? Is that right?
Astrodome.
Thank you. When you get to the big game at the end, it's like boom, the production value, the saturation, the wide shots. I mean, the whole thing looks incredible, and it really shows you like, oh, now it's game time. Now
and
it's
that
like
game
time
is
to show.
great.
Oh yeah, and then the actual hits and the
It's intense.
This movie probably has like some of the best examples of like football action shots. There's a lot of like really dope shots, and it all looks super believable.
You know, I was thinking about that when I was watching these movies. Was like, this might be some of the hardest stunts to coordinate.
Oh yeah,
to recreate. You know what I mean? Like aerial hits. Like you have to have people going at like exact timings to like make someone spin in the air. You know,
and to my knowledge, they went really far into recreating the plays.
Honestly,
they had an actual
aerial
crowd there
hit
and stuff. Yeah.
Honestly, though, aerial hit not that hard. My cousins and I used to do it in jumping balloons all the time as kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's really easy to set up.
That's why
I just mean like getting it and then like having. Without like actually putting like a CGI ball, like you need the ball to land where you need it, and then like having.
And there's also the fact that like these people are playing football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this is
real.
And you can see their faces in the helmets. Like these guys are hitting each other. There's parts that you can't make up.
So what is Booby Miles supposed to do now that he's not pretending to play football?
Oh man, that is
gut wrenching.
Who pay you? Who pay you?
Yeah.
So was it some Midland doctor?
Dude, that's so crazy, man. Just seeing this kid who's for sure in his head, he's like, I'm going to be an NFL player, and like can't read his like college recruitment letters. You know what I mean?
Very real.
Like the hubris thing. That's where I had it in the note. Like there's that scene where they're working out and the quarterback calls him out like, dude, you didn't lift. And he's like, I don't need to lift. And it's like, well, that's why you blew out your ACL because you didn't do the strengthening, you idiot.
Yeah.
And not even stretching. Like you have to build up those muscles to be able to support the bones and the ligaments underneath.
It's God-given.
That's
what he says.
Idiot.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but it's like, it's really sad how like his uncle who like raised him, like adopted, right? He adopted him. They were like banking on him being in the NFL to like, Booby Miles at least wanted to like thank him by like giving him the money from the NFL and stuff.
It's fine. Even if he had made it, he would have died before he had a chance to like buy him a house.
Yeah.
You know, this is an interesting kind of thing. This is more of like an educational debate standpoint, but you know, there's a lot of like football and public education, especially with all the information coming out about CTE, is like, is this ethical? Is this something that a school sponsored activity should be doing? Something that is permanently damaging students before they leave?
Are you saying that America's going to look at something that's very profitable as ethical?
Well, this gets into it. So this gets into the inevitability of like, well, we have to have good high school programs because we have to have good college programs.
Yeah.
So
when else are they going to do it?
Yeah. Which, I mean, you could have all city leagues. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of European countries that don't have fine arts in schools, and everything is done through the city.
Man, American city league football leagues are kind of brutal, man.
Yeah, but what I'm
go pretty
saying
hard
is that ethically, as a school, like the educational system, to do something that is going against the idea, you know what I mean?
That can be so harmful.
You're causing brain damage when you're supposed to be, you know, giving ideas. But at the same time,
philosophical. Yeah.
there's also the argument of like, when it comes to people who are in really low socioeconomic factors, for a lot of them, they don't have a lot of options to just jump into a whole nother stratosphere.
Yeah.
But this could be one.
This provides a way to go to an Ivy League school. Dude.
Yes.
This provides a way.
And like those same people wouldn't have the like more than likely wouldn't have the opportunity to play in some type of like private league. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even though, I mean, I'd say it's more likely that these kids get a scholarship versus just, I mean, it's 100 times more likely that they'll just be scouted for the NFL right out the bat. But all those kids that even get a college scholarship or like in high school, like 5% of them ever make it to the NFL.
Not even 5%.
Not even.
Maybe 1%. Yeah.
Maybe even less than 1%. You know what I mean? That's another interesting thing, is that there's a lot of kids who, you know, have that expectation, but the reality is for many, it's not going to happen. And even in this movie with these kids who are like amazing football players, I always love a great "Where Are They Now" credits.
Oh yeah.
And this movie does it really well. And when you see like most of them are like, oh, this guy's like a plumber, and like this guy owns a
like a
hardware
chemical
store.
engineer.
Even,
something
even
like
the like quiet strong guy
Yeah.
who actually got a D1 scholarship. Like,
Yeah.
he's a long haul trucker.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but it's like the stretch to be able to make it to the NFL.
Just
is
no one,
so few.
no one
Yeah.
took it to a career level.
Yeah.
I really like how it ends like at the spot that they love to hang out with, because that is very quintessential West Texas of just going out into the desert and
Blasting
shooting
things
stuff
with a shotgun.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some moments in this movie that feel so authentic to
When they're
to
eating
living
at
in
the
Texas.
like drive-through outside diner
Yes.
thing.
Oh
and
yeah, dude.
all
Love
the
it.
old dudes are just coming by. I love that thing where the guy's like, "Yo, party at so and so's house tonight. We're getting wasted." And he drives away, and they're like, "Isn't that dude like 35?"
yeah. It's Matthew McConaughey in that car.
Yeah, that's really one of the things I wanted to hit that we hadn't hit yet is like the solid Texasisms in this movie. You got the old dudes living out their glory days. You got the killing time in the desert with a shotgun. You have the anglicized pronunciations of Hispanic names like Chavez,
Sanchez. Yeah.
classic. And then you have Billy Bob Thornton hitting some bangers.
Billy Bob Horton hears a who.
Dude, now that's a graphic. I gotta pick that.
Yeah, we'll get on that new T-shirt. But yeah, the two that stuck out to me the best in his dialogue were "Great Grandma's Drawers" and "Dad Gummit."
Yeah, Dadgummit.
Dadgummit's
Man,
a classic.
I heard that so much on my football team.
Oh yeah,
The actor who plays Booby Miles' uncle is fantastic.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I have no idea who that is, but great.
It's also they did a good job of picking people who weren't super famous so that it felt very real, which is awesome.
true.
I was reading that Booby Miles, the actor, was 30 years old when he portrayed
What?
this high school student, which is
wow,
mind-blowing
he was
to
so
me.
like.
Dude's got good skin.
Dude looks
Yeah.
great.
He looked like a kid. That's crazy.
Yeah, we could not be playing high school kids. You know what I mean?
I really like even
No
like
way.
the opening.
Maybe Frank could.
Yeah, I was gonna say I won't toot my own horn, but
You'd have to shave, I think.
No, he'd have to shave, but he's got great skin. He
Yeah,
can,
he
he
does
can
have
look
great
a
skin.
lot younger,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know,
let me bask in it for a second.
maybe he will have to look a lot younger soon. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
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 Just destroys him.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I was too excited about that.
Second time in a row.
I got him
God damn
twice.
it.
I got him twice.
They got him seeing stars.
The big thing for me in this number one pick is like it's the exact opposite coin as Remember the Titans. You know what I mean? It's the strong
yeah.
grittiness,
Yeah.
and it still checks all the football boxes. It's got all the varied personalities of the team. You have like the loud, boisterous guy. You have like the second stringer who's given his opportunity to rise, and then he does. He's like
Yeah.
one of the guys who goes to the state championship and wins it the next year with Billy Bob
Oh
Thornton.
yeah.
It
It just ends on us. It's a perfect downer. It's like
Oh yeah.
they
Love it.
they make it. The crushing loss is just like you're just like no, I can't believe
it's
it.
by like less than a yard. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Every
it
time
totally-
it starts getting to that point in the movie, I start getting excited about how sad I'm going to
yeah.
Oh, and they're well, at least the movie portrays it as like, oh, he was robbed. You know what I mean? They're so cheated.
Yeah.
There's all these calls. You know, they had the refs in their pocket and everything.
And that's a strong thing too to have the opposing team being like the dirty players. They
Yeah.
like
Yes.
kick the dudes when they're down.
They
and they're
would be
face
from Dallas.
masking.
another
Yeah.
another classic. It's like what's it called? Little Giants.
Like an archetype kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah, classic movie trope for the football movie.
They would be from Dallas. They seem like a Dallas team.
Yeah.
I really like the way the coaches talk to the players too. That's really fantastic. And the big game where the halfback Tim McGraw's son gets called for a face mask because he's so frustrated.
Oh
Or
my
something that happens.
gosh,
You get
yeah.
really frustrated when you're getting the kicked out of you, and you make a dumb decision. He's got him on the bench, and he's like, "Are you mentally okay? Like, is everything all right?"
Yeah.
And he puts his helmet on again. He's like, no, don't put your helmet on. You're staying on the bench for a while. You don't need your helmet on the bench. Like, I love just like the slight beratement
Yeah.
as a form of encouragement.
He's still giving it to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to see like the true abuse from Tim McGraw, like Tim McGraw, right? And in our
Quick Draw McGraw.
Quick Draw
actually, I
McGraw.
think is who you're thinking of.
when Frank and I were in high school, we shared. Well, we were in a football team. No, middle school.
Middle school we played. The doctors told me to stop playing football.
Well, our what was he? I guess he was our defensive coach. Anyways, his son was in with us as well, and he was extremely hard on him to where I saw him lay him out without pads on,
Like-
so many times.
Like mid game one time,
Oh, yeah.
grabbed him by the shoulder pads and then like threw him in the air because he missed his assignment. And he wasn't even our coach.
No.
We were like on the 8th
Huh.
grade and he was the 7th grade coach.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I was reading that Coach Gary Gaines has gone, the real one, has said like, oh, I would never let a parent treat a student like that. on
coaches
sidelines,
will.
which is how it's portrayed in the movie, and also that is something that you hear about for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, I done seen it.
He made his kid
This
run like
this
miles.
makes it even funnier that this is a middle school football thing though, because it's
Yeah.
also like, dude, like get over yourself, man.
Well, he
Hey,
was in,
nobody even comes to these games, man.
These
What
kids
are
are 12.
he was
Like,
in
who
City
cares?
League with us too.
Look, here we are, bunch of 30-year-old people, good old days in over here.
Texas, baby.
I mean, I was horrible at football, so this is that's the part I always love
I
about it.
kind of wish I had played through high school. It
I
would
do
have sucked
too.
to like not be able to use my hands, but it would have been fun to meet you years later and be like, "Oh yeah, I put your like one of my favorite football idioms that I used to
Oh,
hear
I
all
know
the time
I
was,
know.
"Oh yeah, I put your dick in the dirt
in the
that
dirt.
one time."
Oh, that's fun. Well, I think we need to move on because this isn't horribly interesting podcasting. Just us talking about where we played football and what time.
The fat lady is singing.
Oh
Wow,
that
that's
is apt.
perfect.
I knew I needed it at some point.
Well, I guess since we've said my number one, and
We're back
was
to
that
me,
your number
dog.
one?
Yeah, we're back
we just
to me,
went
dog.
full
Yeah,
circle from
all right.
David's 2Z
Wow.
straight back to David's 1.
Here we are with my number one pick. Obviously, the best football movie ever made.
We'll see.
this is weird.
And I can tell you guys, I can't imagine you. There's no way you'll guess what movie I picked.
Ooh.
I have no idea what you're gonna. What you're
not
about
the
to say.
replacements.
Y'all,
It's not gonna be not another teen movie.
I
Oh my
picked
god.
Bend It Like Beckham. No, I'm just joking. That'd be really fun.
I was gonna be pissed. I was like, that's not even. I would have been happy with Green Street Hooligans.
I don't even want to watch Bend It Like
Yeah.
Beckham.
I have never watched
Y'all,
it.
I've picked 1976's Gus.
Oh, that's
Gus?
not what I thought you were gonna say. I thought we were gonna do like the OG, The Longest Yard.
Oh
No,
man,
I was gonna
yeah,
watch
you know
that,
what?
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty fun.
I don't know if I've ever seen Gus.
Guys, Gus is, you know,
It's not the one with the horse that kicks field goals, is it?
we've watched. No, it's not. It's not. We've watched amazing movies this year, and this is probably one of the best movies I've seen all year.
Really?
Incredible.
It's not the horse that kicks field goals; it's the mule that kicks field goals. Everyone.
okay.
Okay,
I get
So
what-
I
Wow.
was on the right track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
Is this a Don Knotts
What
movie?
is a mule if not a horse?
You're watching
but
a
kind
Don
of
Knotts movie in
This
here?
is a Walt Disney Don Knotts movie.
Why are there so many ostriches?
You know what's funny? Is he's barely in this movie.
Stupid
either.
llamas.
No, this movie is mostly carried by Ed Asner, and we also have a famous football player. Apparently,
Man, for a second I thought you were serious
Dick
about this movie.
Butkus.
Oh yeah.
Bro, you don't know about Dick Butkus?
I don't know who this guy is. Hall of Famer, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, he is.
Danny, I'm very serious.
How do you
about-
not know about a man whose first name sounds like a pee-pee and his last name sounds like a butt?
Which
like
is-
kissing a butt.
It's interesting because he could have gone with Richard Butkus, I'm sure, but
It's
he
not as funny.
decided to double
Oh,
down.
everyone
and go-
would have said Dick Butkus though.
He doubled down with Dick Butkus.
You gotta embrace it at that point.
Yeah.
I think
get
so.
ahead of it.
Guys, Gus.
Rather than behind it.
Gus is an incredible film. I mean, sometimes we talk about on this channel the difference between a movie and a film, and this is one of the cases where wow, we've come full
Jesus
circle.
Christ.
A gutsy call.
A gutsy
Oh
call.
my god. Okay, so yeah, basically a Yugoslavian man discovers that his mule can kick a soccer ball accurately at 100 yards. So obviously, what happens? They try to get this mule in the NFL.
I wish Randy was here so he could tell us about an actual mule he knew who could kick it 150 yards.
Oh yeah, I wish. Well, this is mule I knew back in San Antonio.
Actually, we dated for a brief moment.
This is when the California Adams, a horrible football team, they can't score a point. They can't even gain a yard. They're looking for any possible maneuver.
Maneuver?
Maneuver.
Oh.
When the owner of the team decides to make a bet with a friend of his that he's putting the team up in exchange that. Originally it's like that we can get a winning record, but it turns into that we'll get to the Super Bowl. This is actually like the NFL is in this movie, which is
Wow,
funny.
that's weird. Well, it's Disney.
The first scene is like this California Adams team getting just destroyed by the Green Bay Packers. It's pretty hilarious.
As it would happen.
Later, of course, they do destroy the Packers
Damn it.
because they have the power of Gus.
As it would happen.
When you have Gus the Mule, you're invincible. Now,
Wow, so they actually have the teams in this? The NFL teams?
all the
in
teams,
this?
and
Wow.
plus the California Adams, which I'm assuming is not real.
I don't think they were a
The
team.
Browns show up. There's also a team called the Mammoths, which I'm pretty sure is fake. I don't know. It's one of these things where it's like in the
I don't think
70s,
so.
I knew there were team names that were different, but I also didn't care enough to check. So that's where I was at, you know?
I love it.
Yeah. So
Hard hitting reporting.
yeah, man, where do I start with Gus? How do I start with a movie that just has so much?
Wow, there were
Really, the Mammoths?
the Omaha Mammoths.
Well, maybe
Okay.
I can give you a second to collect your thoughts, David, and hit these numbers.
Oh, go ahead.
really
Let's hit the
quick.
numbers. That's perfect.
1976's Gus with its 1 hour and 36 minute runtime, and it's running on all four legs, if you know what I mean.
Feels like an hour 34.
Nice, tight hour 34 feel.
Oh, this is-
It's currently has a 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. No Rotten Tomato score that I can see, probably because
No
it's
one's
from
watched it enough.
1976. Also,
Oh, don't worry. It'll soon be 100%.
also pretty thin on the numbers. No mention of budget. It was 1976, so what, like
$5.
couple $1,000 maybe.
Sure.
Has a gross, a worldwide gross.
They did have to get Dick Butkus money, so that's, one
true.
thing.
Did Butkus money.
Yeah.
Worldwide gross of $21,873,000.
Wow.
Which could be good or bad depending on how much money they
Yeah.
threw into this.
Wow. So, you know, let me just jump into the story a little bit. So good old Gus, the team needs a new kicker, right? And they can't find one.
What? Just go to the soccer field in the middle of soccer practice. Say, hey, who wants to actually get some chicks? And then 3 guys signs up.
That's the thing. Gus is already a soccer player per se,
Interesting.
Oh.
because he's only kicking soccer balls
Because he's in Yugoslavia.
in Yugoslavia.
I don't know if you've noticed,
Europeans.
but a lot of the kickers in the NFL are Hispanic.
No, I have. Well, strangely enough, no, I haven't noticed that.
There you go. Because someone was asking me, where are the Hispanics in football? And
They're
I'm
all
just
the
like,
kickers.
They're all the
Kickers are born a lot like bassists are. When then sometimes like there's a dude who plays his guitar, but they already have 2 guitars, and they're like, but why don't you play bass? It's like a lot of
Or-
kickers are like, no, yeah, you play soccer, but we need a kicker, so come play football with us.
Or like drummers.
Interesting.
Like you really need them when you need them.
yeah,
And they're already on like 3 other teams.
true.
That's true. Well, like a drummer, Gus comes in clutch. You know what I mean? They get him on the team. They recruit him and his handler. They fly him in from Yugoslavia, and they premiere him at the game.
Wow.
Originally is like a bit of a sideshow. Like, oh, we're losing so bad. Let's put in this mule. And then they find out that they just base their entire offense around Gus the Mule,
My
who's
God.
kicking field goals left and right.
Now, does he kick them from behind?
Yes, he lines up behind.
That's an illegal formation, my friend.
His
There's
tr-
rules
well,
to this game.
hang on. They go over the clarification of rules, and they let us know we're 100% in the clear on Gus the Mule playing
Okay.
football. They say, hey, there's 11 players on the field per side at any time, but they don't specify what a player is.
No, I mean like the way you line up to perform the kick.
Maybe he
There's,
turns
like,
that way
a
and then turns
specific
around.
way.
Now he's always at the back, but he's a mule. He's got 4 legs. How do you even cope with that? You
That's
know?
true.
So, anyways, he lines up. His trainer holds the ball, and then he cues him verbally, and that's when the donkey is trained.
Does
Sorry,
he cue him in English or
sorry,
in,
mule. That was a bit
in
racist of me.
Slavic?
Yeah, it is in Slavic. It's
speciesist.
and species. I meant to write it down.
Yeah, what's the command in case I find myself in this situation down the line? I
It's-
don't want to look like an idiot.
It's oyag.
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 And then Gus kicks the ball. We get a nice. That's the sound
With
effects.
sound effects?
Yeah, with sound effects. And he nails it, guys. He nails it every time. It's amazing.
What's Gus doing now? Because I'm pretty upset with the Cowboys kicker over his performances last year.
Gus was 12 when this movie came out, so I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Oh, so he's like glue now?
Yeah. I do want to hit you with some scenes. Let's just play like, did this scene happen in the movie Gus? I'm going to describe a scene to you guys, and I want you to decide whether or not it's happened.
All right,
Okay.
I like this game.
A group of soldiers fall into a pile of cactuses.
Yes.
Yes, happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
In
it
a
for
Don
sure
Knotts,
happened.
like football
It for
mule
sure
movie,
happens.
for sure.
Uh-huh.
The evil opposite team, jealous that Gus is winning so much, decides to pour a bunch of alcohol into his water to get Gus drunk so that he won't perform well at the game.
Yes, happened.
Yes, it happens, and he pulls it off.
Yes, he happens, but when he goes to kick, he just sits down on the ball and pops it.
Oh, Gus.
They get a
That's
loss.
adorable.
They
Aw.
broke their perfect record.
Could have killed that mule.
Gus, while being chased through a supermarket, the bad guy falls into a lobster tank and gets lobsters all over his pants.
Okay, that didn't happen.
This happens for sure.
God damn it.
It might be the best scene of the movie.
This is too ridiculous. This did not happen.
Oh my god.
I was like, David did a really good job of making up a really ridiculous situation, and I'm proud of him. That's what I thought.
In the final moments at the Super Bowl, when Gus has gotten them there all the way, Gus, for one reason or another, is missing. And when they find him, they have to airlift him into the stadium with a helicopter so that he can finish the game.
No. Did not happen.
Yes, it happened also, because Gus is amazing.
Wow.
It might be the best movie of all time. You heard it here first.
David, I was so ready to argue with you that there was no way your number one could be the best football movie that ever existed, because obviously I thought it was Friday Night Lights. And obviously there are movies that have come out that we just haven't gotten around to seeing.
Of course.
I think this is one of those cases, David, because I'm all in on Gus right now.
You should be.
I might go home and watch it.
You should be. It's incredible. We also have what I think is, okay, one last one. The game-winning field goal is a 110-yard field goal from the opposite end zone that Gus kicks and makes for the game-winning point.
I like how he kicks it out of bounds. From out of bounds.
How shitty is this team that got themselves in this situation?
It was a turnover at the last second. They got a turnover right at the 1 yard line on the opposite side. There's only 3 seconds left, so their only option is to go for the field goal. So Gus lines up for that 110-yard field goal, kicks that thing in there.
Those stupid idiots should have just kicked it like 1 yard more and got themselves a sweet touchback.
Wow.
Yes, it happens.
This one does not happen. Okay, so the scenario is how it goes down, but in the final moments of the game,
they cook him and eat him?
No. Gus, with a close-up shot on his face so we can see the decision he's making. I'm not joking. A close-up shot of the mule's face so we can see how he's feeling.
Wow.
He decides.
Now, is he a better facial performer than Dennis Quaid?
Yes. Okay. I mean, obviously.
Wow.
It's like Gus, Dennis Quaid, Keanu Reeves.
I actually heard they tried to get George Clooney for Any Given Sunday, and then they tried to get Gus, found out he was dead.
Yeah.
And then they got Dennis.
As the old has-been.
They don't even have Gus money. You know what I mean? Gus quite literally takes one for the team. He intentionally messes up the kick so that his trainer can have a moment.
He Rudy's his trainer?
Yeah, the trainer gets to pick up the football, who's not even wearing pads for some reason. And through a series of fumbles and dropping the ball and everything, he runs it all the way.
Nice.
For 100.
And his trainer, I'm assuming,
yards.
is Don Knotts.
No, Don Knotts is the coach. And this is the funny part. On all the posters of the movie, you have Don Knotts, but he's in very little of the movie. He's really Ed Asner.
That's how you get him in.
Yeah, and this is also that period where Disney's putting out a bunch of like really schlocky
movies,
like weird live like Shaggy Dog and like all like just movies that are all over the place. What a weird time. You also have to remember that like Disney was going to go bankrupt at one point, and this is like a product of that era. They probably spent a lot of money on Gus.
Yikes.
There's also a hospital scene. I should have added this one in. There's a hospital scene where the trainer is getting in a fight with one of the baddies, and he's getting in a fight while also there's a random cat in the hospital, and they're behind an X-ray screen. So you also have some weird kind of computer generated skeletons. That's all you see. So it's like two guys fighting with an angry cat in there as well.
Oh, very Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's very Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, every other like note that you give us on this, I'm like, no, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm super down.
Guys, Gus again, beautiful film, really master level film work. I think the pinnacle of football movies, one that's not trite and, again, emotional porno, one that hits hard, because it's a mule kicking you in the face. It's Gus. Boom.
And see, Friday Night Lights is an emotional porno. It's a really well done emotional sex scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
It's a classy sex
love
scene.
making.
It's justified. Yeah. I love it.
One nip slip, maybe.
It's not exploitative at all. Maybe Amber Heard. I don't know. I don't remember that scene very well in the movie.
We're just going to forget that she was in that.
She's barely in that movie. But you know who wasn't in that movie? Gus, the mule.
David, I got to say, that's an excellent choice. I did not see it coming.
I love how this ended up.
Did not see it coming. Won't see it.
I will watch this movie.
It's on Disney Plus.
Wow. They just dumped all their crap on there, didn't they?
for a lot of this episode, I was kind of feeling like, okay, this is how Frank really feels when we're talking about anime. Like I'm sitting here, kind of nodding along. I'm like, okay, football, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to make sure I'm paying attention enough to know when I need to come back in.
Yeah.
Or like if there's like a butt or booby joke that I can make.
Yeah. Fair.
As per usual.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do today, but I kind of love how this ended up. I'm glad we could bring Gus to the table, and yeah, check out Gus, everyone. It's the movie to see. Top film 2022. Anyway, it's time to move on. We got many more segments, and it's time
At least a couple of them.
for Carol. Oh, that's interesting.
You paused too long. I
Oh,
felt like I
that's
had to
not
hit
character
something.
limit extended.
Which one goes first usually?
Character limit extended.
Is it?
Yes.
Well,
Here we are.
but as a matter of fact, even if it was character limit extended, I would have to interrupt it with a breaking news flash. Whoa, yes. The third time and in a different context. Well,
there you
fourth
go.
time, I guess, but
Jim Caviezel one. I forgot about that.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to share an Ezra Miller update.
Oh, you mean a news flash?
Yeah, newsflash. Here we are. Hang on. I accidentally I pulled up that Colin Kaepernick.
What's
thing.
that crazy them up to?
This is from USA Today. Ezra Miller has been charged with felony burglary in Stamford, Vermont.
Wow.
Also, where they have that branch of Dunder Mifflin.
No, that's Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, that's right. The latest in a string of incidents involving the embattled star of The Flash. In a report Monday, Vermont State Police said that they responded to a burglary complaint in Stamford on May 1st and found several bottles of alcohol, which were taken from a residence while the homeowners weren't present. Miller was charged after police consulted surveillance footage and interviewed witnesses. The police report said Miller was located shortly before midnight Sunday and was issued a citation to appear for arraignment in Vermont Superior Court on September 26. This adds to mounting legal woes. The 29-year-old actor was arrested twice earlier this year in Hawaii, including for disorderly conduct and harassment at a karaoke bar.
That's a nice way to put it.
The second
Yeah.
incident was a second-degree assault.
Yeah.
Amazing. He even and to just put a little cherry on top, he corrected the improper pronoun use of the police officer during the arrest, saying, "I'm not a sir," which is lovely.
No, you're a big old piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the right pronoun for Ezra Miller. How exciting! This is pretty much all the information we have. I mean, if nothing else, we need to talk about Ezra Miller a little bit more.
Also, they're keeping secrets on how they were able to capture the fastest man alive.
I was
Yeah.
seeing something that, like, with the family that he, like, essentially held hostage or something like that. That police found, like the 1-year-old baby or something was playing with, like, a live bullet round.
Yeah. We talked
I mean,
about.
bullets aren't dangerous.
Well,
Like, you're just holding a bullet. Ain't nothing bad gonna happen.
We talked about-
choking hazard.
But he did put it in his mouth.
yes, we talked about this family last Newsflash.
Yes.
But we left out the bullet thing, which is an important detail. Yeah, the baby was
Really
like
is.
putting it in his mouth like a binky or something. Bad
Wow.
idea.
Wow. I also saw, to complement this story, that WB has actually doubled down that they are still releasing The Flash.
Jesus
This is what I'm
Christ.
most excited
It
about.
has a tentative date of next year.
That is not gonna do well.
Yeah, apparently, like, a quote was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but they were just like, we actually have seen Flashpoint Paradox and whatever they were talking about, the other movie, and they're just like, and we're very excited for you all to see it. So they didn't even, like, mention what was going on.
They're doing it all wrong. They need to put it out like tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on crunch time. They need to hire like an island of computer graphic designers and just like pump this thing out now, because who knows what Ezra Miller's going to do
That's
next.
exactly what I was gonna say. Give it
Yeah.
another couple months or two, he's gonna like eat somebody's face.
Yeah.
So he's arrested already, but he's
Well,
probably not in
he's
custody
not
anymore.
arrested. He was given a citation to appear in court.
Oh,
I wonder if he'll show up for his court date.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the next thing. But you they're not going to arrest him for stealing liquor because he's so famous.
Yeah.
If If he was like just
Well, he could just pay his
yeah.
bail like as soon as he's arrested.
Yeah.
Everybody steals a little bit of liquor sometimes. It doesn't make you a bad person. Sometimes you take some bottles from a club that's not treating you very nicely as an employee, and you go and drink them with your friends in their apartment, and then you start a podcast years later.
Interesting. Wow. I wonder what you could be talking about right now.
r/oddly specific.
This is what I really like about this one, though, is because it does seem like something like a high school or like early 20s person would do.
Yeah.
Like, you're 29. Why are you stealing alcohol from someone's house? It just seems so weird. I guess he's just getting off on the thrill.
Maybe he like just learned the story of Colton Harrismore, the barefoot bandit, felt inspired, wanted to cause a little bit of ruckus.
They are really sad people. Like they're a really sad person. It's
You
amazing.
confuse me with the people.
Yeah, sorry about that. They are very sad. I just want to get their pronouns
Ezra Miller.
right.
Yeah, we should. Sorry. Ezra Miller. Yeah, it does seem like in a really bad place, and I'm
And I
curious.
don't
as
get
to
it. I want to know why.
what's happened. Yeah,
I feel like they could write like a great book after this.
this is a great segue, but I did start watching Mindhunter.
Yes.
This seems like right in line. I gotta say, I am enjoying Mindhunter a lot. It does crack me up a little bit how much they're hitting the. What do you mean we're talking to these criminals? We don't do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, but we can learn so much. And they're like, we don't want to learn from these
I don't want
kinds.
to learn. I want to put them in the slammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really the cops and bad guys mentality that
Yeah.
is really stupid.
But it's also just like they're really setting it up like, oh, but he's the one who's going to break through this idea.
He's going to crack the code.
What are you talking about? Why would you want to talk to Ed Kemper? But it's like really enjoyable.
It's because Holden is holding the key to understanding.
Wow.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Also, have you met Big Ed yet?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
I'm in the
great.
second episode. Yeah.
Oh, it gets better.
And he's what's it called? He's Hazel from Umbrella Academy,
Yes,
which is
he
really
is.
funny. That guy's huge too.
He's a giant man.
I was like, I don't remember him being this big in Umbrella Academy.
That's season 1. And I was like,
Yeah, that's a long
I
time.
don't remember
ago, man.
these
And a
people.
little bit of season 2. They
just a
got him right at the
dash
top.
of very old Hazel.
Yeah.
gotcha.
But,
Forgot about that.
Yeah, cool actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does it really well. He looks exactly like Ed Kemper.
Yeah, but do you guys remember him being massive in Umbrella Academy? I
Yeah.
don't remember thinking.
I don't remember him being that big.
It's been a
When
while.
they're doing the physical fights, I'm like, Jesus Christ! Imagine like having your body as small as like a little schoolboy and getting
Yeah.
kicked across the room by this guy.
He'd kill you.
He's a giant person.
Yeah. But anyways, did you watch Death Note, Frank? This was our agreement last
Uh-oh.
podcast.
No, I forgot about that, but I'll get around to it.
I only did it just to spite you. It
Yeah,
was a-
even
it
when
was a
you were
spite
like,
watch. It was a spite watch.
"Hey, I'm watching Mindhunter," never did did it cross my
Yeah.
mind the moment where like, "Oh, I said I was gonna do a thing."
See, he doesn't care about you, listener. This is what he has.
I care about you,
Cameron
less David.
Everyone's waiting to hear your reaction.
Cameron Britton is the actor, and I'm trying to see how
Britton?
tall he
Whoa,
is.
you're just gonna look up how tall he is?
Oh, I'm sorry, I
You're
forgot
not
we
gonna
had
let
this
me.
thing. I didn't even look.
Yeah, let
All
the
right.
height daddy take a
How
shot.
tall you think he is?
How old is he?
Well, I'm the age guy, right?
Yeah, how old is he?
37.
Okay, I feel like I don't know if he's as tall as they're portraying him in Mindhunter or if it's a camera tricks. Cause he could be like 6'3", but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little 6'5".
He's a 36 and 6'5".
Oh,
Boys,
We did
never
it. We did it
ceases
again.
to amaze me.
God,
These are
it's
the
amazing.
weirdest talents of people that I know. It's fantastic.
Wow.
We have to figure out how to
Amazing.
capitalize on this.
I feel good.
There's
I
gotta
feel
be
good
some
about
kind of way.
Yep. That was good.
Man, so anyways, yeah, Ezra Miller, who knows what's going to happen with this guy? Wow, what a tangent. Just stay tuned for more Ezra Miller updates.
Big things coming soon.
Big
Exactly.
things.
Speaking of big things, it's time for character limit. Extended. Whoa. Get to the chopper edition.
Yeah. Yep.
How fun. Let's get into some toxic masculinity and some bullets.
Yeah, it's Predator time.
I mean, body mass alone.
check out the CLE if you haven't already. I think Danny, you were
I
the
had the Hemingway.
Hemingway.
Yep.
All right, Danny. Ironically, I think you're the biggest Predator fan,
I
and
am.
you had the shortest review. What else do you have to say about Predator?
It still holds up, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's a
Yeah.
it's a classic movie gem, and it's not. How old is this movie?
87?
87, I'm pretty sure. I'll
How
double check.
does it continue to be good. I mean, not amazing, but still just like a good movie.
I mean, Gus is from '76. It holds up pretty good. apparently.
Gus is 10 out of 10.
87.
I mean, like, it's a very original premise, I think, as far as movies thus far. I can't think of a movie that was something like that around that time.
Alien.
79. Yeah, but it wasn't even...
I mean, it's not the same.
It's not nearly the same, but I guess
a
just
different
aliens.
setting.
Yeah, it's a different setting. Nothing that would like hunt for sport or anything like that.
Yeah, no Jesse the Body Ventura.
No, Jesse. I mean, yeah, everyone's ripped in this movie, and it's kind of insane. Everyone's very oily and sweaty,
Glistening,
and
especially Mac.
the shots that are just like straight up of bodies are a little gratuitous, like male bodies.
I don't know if gratuitous is the same word I would use to describe those shots.
We get some nice ass shots in this movie too.
So many. That was
Yeah,
one of the
there
first
are a
things I
lot.
told you guys when we were like setting up. I'm like, guys, there's so many good male ass shots.
Yeah.
In this movie.
I was
my
blown
God.
away, man.
The dialogue is like if you could like legit have G.I. Joe toys like talk, like this is what they would say to each other.
Also,
you know?
like, man, Arnold is so bad. Like,
I think he's okay.
I mean,
I thought he was
compared
so
to-
Arnold.
Yeah, he's very Arnold.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like we give Keanu Reeves a hard time, but are like, oh, but Keanu's great. You know what I mean? Arnold is worse than Keanu Reeves.
No.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
Yeah, he's awful, man.
for me, in my point of view, Keanu Reeves tries to be a good actor, and that's what makes him fail more. Whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger is a character.
I don't know if I could say that. But I have no idea.
I mean, look at him in Dracula. I mean, he's trying to act. He's
Is he?
trying his
I don't know
hardest
if he's
to
trying.
act in that movie.
I can't tell if Keanu Reeves is trying. I can't tell if Arnold Schwarzenegger's trying either.
Keanu Reeves trying his best.
He's trying. I think in more movies than Arnold did. So
Comment below who's the worst actor, Keanu Reeves or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Now, we're not saying we hate Keanu Reeves.
I'm not saying I hate Arnold either.
I love both.
I love
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves and I love Arnie.
But this is a very interesting little. It's like there's a few people that we've just totally given a pass to.
yeah,
But you know what? I'd have to give the edge, since we're having this debate, I'd have to give the edge to Keanu Reeves in this situation because Arnold, his whole thing is just being big.
Being biff
Even
kick.
his action stuff isn't that great. His punches look a little bit awkward sometimes. He's got the bad delivery in the one-liners.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves has all those things. He can stay physically fit. But in something like John Wick, he's put a ton of training into that
Yeah.
stuff. Like he puts in the work
But
to
not
be
the
able to
acting
do
training.
the acting. No, give
we're
him
talking physicality.
give him as few lines
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
And he'll take care of the rest.
Well, I think that's a great point, and I guess that's Keanu Reeves moving on to our reigning champ, Neo from the
Yeah.
Matrix. I was joking.
One quick note is that at a certain point in this movie, what is so good about this movie is that, yes, you have all the G.I. Joe dialogue and blah, 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 set up. When it just becomes Arnie and the Predator, there's basically no dialogue.
Yeah, there's a little bit where he's talking to him, but it's mostly told just through actions.
And Arnie
good.
does really good.
That's what the last act for sure. It's
is
a good
the
chunk.
showdown.
Yeah.
And that's really unique about this movie, I think. Another thing is it has dated effects, but it still does pretty well. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the effects aren't horrible, and I
No.
mean when they do go practical, it's nice.
the practical's great.
The costume's really good on the Predator, which is excellent.
Still one of the best
Oh.
practical face masks, robotics, whatever I've ever seen.
I was almost like nervous for like the reveal again. Like, is it as good as I remember it being? Because these digital effects are really rough.
Yeah, the digital
But
effects.
God, the practicals
Dude,
are so good.
the reveal's still effective.
The gory little bodies. Yes.
and
Explosions.
amazing that they can do like the highlighter green blood and it doesn't look too bad. It looks
Yeah.
decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it looks
Being
all right.
It just looks like some antifreeze. Yeah, it's not terrible.
As far as if I ever have kids, I'm gonna show Predator to my kids because it's like a movie I feel like you have to see Predator, even if you're not a big like horror movie fan. It's still a good action movie. and it's-
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say Predator is essential. I think it crosses that line for sure.
At least just Predator
Yeah.
1. Just Predator 1.
Yeah. If you're delving into 80s action movies, you have
Yeah.
to watch Predator.
So actually, I don't know if you have more to say.
No.
Because I feel like this is a pretty good segue over to me. I had the chirp. Actually, it didn't take a lot of convincing. I was really surprised, but I got my niece and my nephew to watch this with me on my rewatch. My niece, who is not really down for horror, kind of a big chicken. And my nephew, who's like just getting into like horror stuff, like Stranger Things kind of like awoken something in him. He's like down for it.
Yeah.
And they were both super down for this movie. I fell asleep through the the entire third act, and had to like finish watching it again.
Yeah.
It was like my day off. I was super sleepy. But I was really excited with how much they enjoyed it. I did not expect it to go that way. And it was really cool to me that it just spanned the generational jump. Like, I thought they were going to be like, man, my Uncle Frank's a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm never going to
wow,
like
this is a
watch another suggestion
dumb
movie
old
from
movie.
him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they were super all about it.
I mean, I don't have anything else to say, really. I think, there are some things. I think you could argue that the first half of the movie isn't paced very well. Like,
I mean, I just got to say, I think your review was perfect.
Yeah.
David.
oh, well, thank you.
It really was.
That.
I mean, you nailed it on that one.
Yeah. I mean, but no matter what you say, it's like, it's just undeniably charming. It's a great watch. It's fun.
Good popcorn film.
Oh, yeah.
This is it's a turn your brain off movie. It's like, this is just a great popcorn blockbuster.
Yeah.
So
It's a good time.
This is like classic Hollywood.
can anyone, I mean, who hasn't seen Predator? If you've never seen Predator, you have to watch it. If you have seen Predator, then you need to check out Gus. And that's where we're at, man.
How wonderful.
That's fantastic, David.
I just
Thank
want to
you.
say that we don't really recommend bad movies, but we're recommending this bad movie, I guess.
Predator's great, man. What are you talking about? You are insane, man. Anyway, I guess that's all we have to say.
For Predator,
Like,
that wraps
it's
it
a funny one. Like, what more can you say except
Yeah.
for yes, still holds up. Super dope. Not a film. Great movie.
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't going to have anything to say. And then as I started going on the CLE, it felt good. But now I really feel like I'm out. So make sure you check out that review.
Plus, we always make the mistake of like talking while we're setting up, and then we're
Yeah.
like, oh, save that for the CLE. And then we forget.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's time to get to our last segment of the night. It's everyone's favorite hypothetical, very real debate segment where we take peeps and we put them in predicaments and we see who is arguably the victor. Danny,
There is no victor at this table.
well,
There is no victor.
let's see if there's a victor in that jar. Danny, who are our peeps for today?
Our peeps for today are literally any actual dinosaur versus
God.
Chris Pratt's hand.
Okay, this one's funny, but it's a little. This is going to be a hard one to
Yeah,
argue.
logistically, I don't see it working. I'm very
Yeah.
glad you put it in the jar. though.
Yeah. Chris Pratt's hand might be going a little too far, as it's not a person.
Could be
Well,
very
we'll see
OP,
what the
though.
first predicament
But let's
is.
see.
Seems to be very OP.
Let's find out.
Okay, yeah, we might have some issues. Who would make a better 2024 Democratic Party presidential?
Oh God.
Chris Pratt's hand.
Oh God.
Obviously. Or probably a dinosaur.
I mean, this is.
Do we have to scratch this and get another peeps?
I think we need another set of peeps.
I think we might. This
It was a
one's-
valiant effort.
It's funny, but I don't know how to argue. Neither could be president. A hand or a dinosaur.
Well,
Now, if it was a mule,
Well, what's the character from Adam's Family?
hand. Not
Isn't it like-
Cousin It.
Cousin It's the
No.
furry.
Oh,
The hand has a
I
name.
don't
I'm
remember.
sure
Don't
of
they
it.
call him
Whatever.
hand? No, they call him something else.
Yeah, it's got a name.
Handman.
What are you gonna do?
Fingies.
Hand banana.
Hand banana. That's something different.
Fingy boy.
We already decided we can't talk about
We
hand
can't
banana
talk
on the
about hand
channel.
banana. Anyways, our new set of peeps, past that,
Interesting. Okay.
is the Soggy Bottom Boys
Okay.
God
Oh, brother,
damn,
we're
it's the
outside.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
versus Big Dan, Bible salesman.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Big Dan, Democratic nominee is what we're saying, right?
So
It's Big Dan.
So it's three.
yeah, it's got to be Big Dan because I
yeah.
was just thinking like the Soggy Bottom Boys. Are we doing like one of them as a president, vice president, secretary?
Oh, as a
Speaker of the
cabinet whole
House, You know what I
thing?
mean?
Yeah.
Or come as a cabinet combo deal. But all those guys are highly uneducated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the Totoro and the other one.
I
forget
mean,
his
even George Clooney, he's not bona fide.
He's not, which isn't going to get you very far. I mean, I think he has the best argument. But the other thing is that Big Dan is like a phony and
So are the presidents.
Sounds like a president. Yeah.
and like a salesman charlatan. He knows what to say, and people eat it up.
Sure.
People eat it up.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Big Dan Bible Man advances.
Okay, I got the other one. Let me see
Oh,
here.
nice. I was gonna hand it over.
I got Who'd make a better head coach? Big Dan, Bible salesman, or the Soggy Bottom Boys? Oh, this is
That's a
interesting.
tough one.
Now this does get a little bit interesting.
Three
Because
boys
those
as one head coach.
those Soggy Bottom Boys pulled off some pretty incredible feats to travel the distance that they did from the circumstances they started in.
And they're already good at teamwork.
Yeah.
True.
Resourceful.
Good at delineating jobs.
Now, I feel like Big Dan could really yell at you in that head coach mentality.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably knows a thing or two about football, too.
You're playing like a damn horny toad. You know what I mean? I could feel it.
You know, and just thinking about this more, I feel like the Soggy Bottom Boys would make a really good, like, offense coordinator,
Team.
lineman.
Yeah.
You know, and they would be a good coaching team.
Ooh, interesting.
But Big Dan, the Bible salesman, would make a better head coach.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He's got that big head coach energy. I
I mean,
feel
he's a
like-
conservative from the South.
BHE.
He definitely knows a thing or two about football and can
Yeah.
coach. Or at least yell.
Fair point.
And big enough to truck someone.
I'm really curious to see what situation he could be facing Neo in.
He's got that classic football coach body. All right, Neo.
Also a very good point, Dave.
Neo against Big Dan. What do we got?
All right, we got our reigning champ going up against Big Dan Bible Salesman in Who's Most Likely to Tank the Comedic Duo consisting of these two. Who's
okay. So
most likely to
who's
tank?
most
they
likely to
are
tank
comedic duo, guys. I honestly feel like we might have hit where
I
Neo
think
finally
Neo
fails.
will not make it yet.
to be in a comedic duo, you gotta have amazing timing.
No,
And-
but he's the one most likely to tank it.
Oh,
He
crap.
wins again
no!
because
Crap,
of the
he
wording of the
still
situation.
wins.
Wow.
We finally had one, and
Wow.
we worded it incorrectly.
And you know what? In the past, this was maybe 20 episodes ago.
Yeah.
We had put in a disclaimer about
And probably like 15 and 30 before that.
it needed to be. We can't word it in the negative. We need to word it in the positive.
Hey.
And we've screwed ourselves.
Still got us in the butts.
Wow.
Who's most likely to tank their comedic duo
Well,
consisting of the two?
We were so, we were all on board to
Like,
quickly say
Neo
yeah.
would obviously be the straight man, and he would do a bad job at
Oh,
that.
Yeah. Horrible.
God damn it.
He still wins.
Wow.
Reigning champ.
Yeah, so it's Neo. I mean, let me give you the updates, I guess, of what's coming up on the channel. We don't. You know what? I feel like we've gotten really behind on planning.
Scheduling? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to catch up a little bit, but we do have the next few things lined up. So
That's exciting.
next week we got good old Prey
yeah.
CLE coming soon. Y'all, I gotta say, check that movie out before
Yes.
the review comes out. We're wholeheartedly recommending it, and you'll hear some more of it soon.
Very, very rare that is a full channel wholehearted recommend.
Yeah, I mean,
UMR stamp of approval.
it's like this year. It's like Prey, Nope, and
Oh, yeah.
Gus, of course, the newest one. After everyone watches it tonight, we'll feel it.
I'm gonna say no. But
Anyways, where are we at?
I love how much Danny hates it and has never seen it.
No, Nope.
I don't-
Nope was good, man. We just saw it, Danny. We just saw Nope. It was
just
excellent.
move on to the schedule.
Anyways, oh no, I just skipped past it. So we have Prey, and then I think the next podcast coming up is Last House on the Left.
Remake versus original.
Yeah, remake versus original. So watch both if you have the stomach for
gonna
it.
be a rough one.
Yes.
And shoot, then guys, we're at the 100th CLE episode,
wow.
and I feel like we haven't
Big
picked a movie
things
yet.
coming.
It's gotta be Gus at this point. You know what I mean? It's the only option. So stay with us. We'll announce some more stuff soon, and big things. Football.